And after I praised you, all K-pop, really? Really? You're gonna do this to me and make me look like an idiot? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, let me fill you in. Checking all K-pop, I could care less about who's on vacation, whose movie's coming out, really. I don't really care. But seeing this, it said, Hangeng developed suicidal thoughts while with SM Entertainment. Now, if you don't know who Hangeng is, he is the Chinese member, or ex-member, of Super Junior, and since his horribly controversial split from Super Junior and basically Korea itself, it's pretty much, Super Junior is a 12-member group, I'm going to say, because then the other one is an actor, and the other one's going into the army, but there are some, I think it's just 12 members now. Anyway, Hangin, he has been talking non-stop about his horrible, experience with SM Entertainment. He was saying how, like one time he and another member of Super Junior were sick and they were rushed to the hospital, but they had to perform. So they had like IVs in them and they had to stop, they had to increase the speed of like the fluids or whatever going into the IVs in order for them to perform or something. And you see such great like people come from SM Entertainment like Boa and Shiny and even Super Junior, even though I'm not really a fan. They do have talent, so I admire them for that. Here's what Allkpop said, and this is where I'm sort of getting mixed messages, signals, whatever you may call it. Hangin recently made an appearance on a Taiwanese program titled Shen Shunhua's Life Show. I honestly don't know if I said that right, so please don't quote me on it. Where he revealed, while with SM Entertainment I was building so much stress that at one point I just wanted to commit suicide. He continued in tears. It was just too hard living in Korea. Having the thoughts of hanging myself in my mind was worse. Just thinking of the possibilities at the time made everything so difficult. So, okay, that's really horrible, and from what I've heard from at least his side of the story, it's very, it's tragic that this had to happen to him. However, ever since comment number 313 on Allkpop, everybody has been blasting the website for mistranslating Hangin, his interview on the Taiwanese program horribly, because apparently there was no mention of suicide at all. At all. Here is what I'm quoting. Her name is, or his name, their name is Asterisk, comment number 313, who has gotten 463 thumbs up, which can only mean, that Allkpop is horribly wrong. It says, this article is mistranslated. Wow, Allkpop, really? And for those who don't believe me, I'm Taiwanese, for God's sake. Yes, we speak Chinese, it's our language too. And you can ask any other person fluent in Chinese and they'll say the same. What the reporter said was this. Hangin talked with our reporter about what transpired in Korea, where he felt the pressure was too much, and here is the real translation of the interview. Hangin replied, I was in Korea at a time under SM, and I read an article where an artist described how he felt very bothered and pressured, that he didn't want to work, and even with people talking to him no matter what, he just didn't feel happy or fulfilled, and in the end his heart just kept feeling frustrated and pressured. And I, Hangin, was thinking, oh, someone else is feeling the same thing as me right then. That is what actually happened. There was nothing about suicide, even Hangin considering it. He was just relating to the feelings of another person who was feeling really upset at the time. Of course, it ends with, translate properly, and like I said, if you don't believe me, find other people, they'll say the same. And apparently 463 people came to this person's side and agreed. So, it's just, I trust these websites for this information. I don't speak or read Korean or speak or read Japanese, and I trust these websites to give me accurate information. It's like if I was watching an American news story and they were saying like Ford burned in a fire and died, when really there was a fire but everybody was like out of town at the time. It's like horribly mistranslated apparently, and I don't know whose side to be on, Allkpop or Asterisk side. I'm gonna go with, the comment just because, I don't know. It's just, you trust these sources with your information and you want to make sure the information is valid. So what happens when the information is not? If anything, I just want Allkpop to make a reprise and like say either we goofed and we mistranslated, or to say this person is not correct, our sources are right, if not, check, this person to verify. But I don't know how to feel about the Hanging thing because I don't know what's true. I don't think he really considered suicide, at least not seriously. I think he was just in a horribly depressed state of mind with the situation he was in South Korea, and I personally am glad that he is back in China and promoting his debut solo album in Taiwan, and I'm very happy for him. But there's nothing he can benefit from, he can gain from like saying all this stuff either. He's pretty much not a part of Super Junior or SM Entertainment anymore. I don't know if he's still bound by a contract or whatever, and that's what the big, fuss is about. But at this point, it doesn't even matter what he says about it. Yes, we get it. You were horribly treated, and yes, I genuinely do feel sorry for the way he was treated. But there's just nothing that can benefit from him going on and on and on. At this point, he's sounding like a broken record, and again, I do sympathize with him, but there's only so much, or so, amount you can take for so long a time before it starts getting old, and, I don't know, it sounds like whining. I get that he wants to tell his side of the story, but, focus on yourself in the future. You'll live longer and stress-free that way, and of course not contemplating suicide. But anyway, I just want answers. I hope someone gives them to me. Because if not, I'm going to be one very confused reporter.